Welcome back, everybody. Today, we're going to be doing a deep dive
Right.
into the kind of often overlooked world
Yeah.
of mental health and autism.
Yeah.
And we're pulling a lot from this website called Cheap ABA.
Oh, cool.
And it has a ton of resources, but there's a particularly insightful article on there
Okay.
called Mental Health and Autism, a Double Whammy.
Okay.
And it's focused on adults.
Oh, interesting.
And it's fascinating stuff. Did you know that adults with autism experience mental health challenges
Wow.
at like significantly higher rates than the general population?
That's really important to talk about more, I
Yeah,
think.
it is.
Yeah, and we often talk about the social and communication challenges, right,
Yeah.
associated with autism, but uh, I really like how this article highlights how those challenges can directly impact mental health
Right.
and create this double whammy effect.
Yeah, and it's not just anecdotal, right?
Right.
The National Autistic Society reports some pretty startling statistics. 68% of adults with autism experience anxiety.
Wow.
55% face depression, and 30% even deal with PTSD.
Oh my gosh.
Those are some really heavy numbers.
Yeah, that's
What struck me, though, was how the article dives deeper than just those, like, surface-level stats.
yeah, definitely, because it's not just about the presence of these challenges, right?
Right.
It's about understanding why they're so prevalent in the autistic community. And this article does a great job
Yeah.
at connecting the dots between the core characteristics of autism and the
Yeah.
increased
Yeah.
susceptibility to these mental health issues.
So let's unpack that a bit.
Okay.
One of the areas the article highlighted was executive functioning.
Yeah.
I know that's a bit of a technical term,
Right.
but can you break it down for our listener in terms of its relevance here?
Of course. So executive function is essentially the brain's management system.
Okay.
It's a set of skills that allow us to plan and organize, manage our time,
Right.
regulate our emotions, things like remembering appointments,
Yeah.
meeting deadlines,
Mhm.
or even just filtering out distractions.
Mhm.
And for a lot of people with autism,
Okay.
these executive functions can be impaired.
So it's not just about forgetting an appointment here or there.
Yeah.
It's more like having your mental filing cabinet constantly in disarray, right?
Yeah.
No wonder that can lead to feeling overwhelmed and stressed.
Exactly. And that chronic stress can then become a breeding ground
Right.
for more serious mental health issues like
Mm.
anxiety and depression.
Yeah.
Imagine constantly feeling like you're behind,
Yeah.
struggling to keep up with the demands of daily life.
Right.
It's exhausting, and over time, it takes a real toll.
Yeah, the article also talks about sensory overload, which I think is something a lot of people can relate to on some level.
Mm-hmm.
We've all been in a situation where we felt bombarded by loud noises, bright lights, or strong smells, right?
For sure.
But for someone with autism, it sounds like that experience is amplified tenfold.
Absolutely. It's not just a matter of discomfort.
Yeah.
It can be completely debilitating.
Yeah.
Imagine those feelings of overwhelm,
Mm-hmm.
becoming so intense that you can't function.
Wow.
It can lead to meltdowns, panic attacks,
Oh my God.
and even contribute to developing conditions like PTSD.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, this is often compounded by a lack of understanding
Right.
from the people around them.
It's so easy to underestimate the impact of these like seemingly small things, especially when you haven't experienced them firsthand. But the article really drives home the point that for someone with autism,
Yeah.
these are not minor inconveniences. They are major obstacles
Yeah.
that significantly impact their daily lives and mental well-being.
That's a crucial point. And this lack of understanding can even extend to the healthcare system,
Right.
which is incredibly disheartening.
Yeah.
Many autistic individuals experience trauma
Yeah.
or feel dismissed when seeking help, which only exacerbates the problem.
Wow. Yeah, it's almost like they're facing a double whammy within the healthcare system itself.
Right.
First, struggling to find providers who like truly understand autism, and then potentially experiencing trauma from those interactions.
Unfortunately, you're right. It really speaks to a broader need for more specialized training
Yeah.
and awareness within the medical community.
Right.
But moving beyond the systemic issues,
Okay.
the article also explores some really practical approaches
Yeah.
for managing mental health in autistic adults.
Okay, so let's shift gears and talk about solutions.
Okay.
Because it's easy to get like bogged down in the challenges.
Right.
But I think it's important to emphasize that there are things that can be done
Yeah.
both on an individual and societal level, right?
Absolutely. And one of the most impactful things we can do is increase awareness.
Okay.
The more people understand the unique challenges faced by autistic individuals,
Right.
the more likely they are to offer support and advocate for change.
So it's about education and empathy, basically.
Yes. But it goes deeper than that. We need to actively challenge the stigma
Okay.
surrounding mental health, particularly within the autistic community.
Right.
It's often harder for individuals on the spectrum to recognize and seek help
Right.
for their mental health needs.
Yeah.
And that's where understanding from family, friends, and professionals becomes crucial.
That makes sense. Creating a safe and supportive environment where
Right.
someone feels comfortable expressing their struggles is essential.
Exactly.
But what about more concrete solutions?
Yeah.
The article mentioned therapies like CBT and ACT.
Okay.
Why are those particularly effective for autistic adults?
Well, cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT, is all about identifying and changing negative thought patterns and behaviors. It provides a structured approach to managing anxiety,
Right.
developing coping mechanisms, and improving social skills, which are often areas of difficulty for autistic individuals.
So it's about giving them practical tools
Yes,
to navigate those challenges.
exactly. And then acceptance and commitment therapy, or ACT,
Okay.
focuses on accepting difficult thoughts and emotions without judgment.
Okay.
This can be incredibly empowering for someone who might feel overwhelmed
Yeah.
by sensory input or social situations. It's about learning to acknowledge those feelings
Okay. Yeah.
without letting them control your behavior.
I can see how both of those approaches could be really beneficial.
Yeah.
But are there any limitations to those therapies?
Hmm.
What about other approaches that might be helpful?
It's a great question. Yeah. While both CBT and ACT have shown promising results
Right.
for autistic individuals, it's important to remember that they're not one-size-fits-all solutions. Some people might find more benefit from other therapeutic modalities like art therapy, music therapy, or even animal-assisted therapy.
It's about finding what works best for each individual, taking into account their specific needs and preferences.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And it's also crucial to emphasize the importance of self-care.
Okay.
Encouraging healthy coping mechanisms like mindfulness exercise and spending time in nature can make a world of difference in managing stress and improving overall well-being.
Those are things we should all be doing.
Regardless of whether we're on the spectrum or not, right?
Absolutely. And for autistic individuals, those practices can be especially valuable
Right.
in regulating sensory input and promoting emotional regulation.
So what does this all mean for our listener out there?
Yep.
If they have a loved one on the spectrum, or if they themselves are autistic, what's the key takeaway from all this?
The key takeaway is that mental health is just as important as physical health.
Right.
And for autistic individuals, it's often an area that requires extra attention and support.
Yeah.
It's about recognizing the unique challenges they face,
Right.
offering understanding and empathy, and advocating for access to appropriate resources and care.
And I think it's important to remember that there is hope.
Yeah,
While the statistics can be daunting,
right.
there are effective therapies and strategies available to help autistic adults manage their mental health and live fulfilling lives.
I completely agree. And beyond individual support, we need to push for broader societal change.
Right. That means advocating for more accessible healthcare, better training for professionals, and increased awareness and understanding of autism in all its complexities.
It feels like we've covered a lot of ground here.
Yeah.
From understanding the double whammy effect to exploring specific therapies and the importance of self-care.
Right.
But before we wrap up, I'd love to get your thoughts on something the article touched on.
Yeah.
The role of community and connection.
That's such an important piece of the puzzle.
Okay.
Because while individual effort is crucial,
Right.
feeling connected to others who understand your experiences is incredibly validating and empowering.
So it's not just about professional help.
Right.
It's about finding those support networks, whether it's through local groups, online communities, or even just having a few close friends or family members who truly get it.
Exactly. Because those connections can provide a sense of belonging, reduce feelings of isolation, and offer a space to share experiences and coping strategies.
Yeah.
It's about knowing you're not alone in this journey.
And I think that's a really powerful message to leave our listener with.
Yeah.
The idea that even small actions, like reaching out to someone, offering a listening ear,
Right.
or simply educating yourself about autism can make a difference.
Absolutely. Because every step we take towards increasing awareness,
Yeah.
fostering empathy, and promoting acceptance creates a ripple effect that can positively impact the lives of autistic individuals and their families.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into the complexities of mental health and autism, I want to leave you with a thought-provoking question to consider.
Okay.
What small step can you take today to promote awareness and support for autistic individuals in your community?
Yeah.
Maybe it's reaching out to a friend, donating to an organization, or simply starting a conversation about the importance of neurodiversity.
Every action, no matter how small, contributes to a more inclusive
Yeah.
and understanding world.
Yeah.
And that's something worth striving for.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Of course.
We hope this conversation has sparked some new insights
Yeah.
and inspired you to take action. Until next time, keep learning, keep exploring, and keep the conversation going.